I have a specific workflow about getting my videos ready, and especially getting them ready for YouTube HD. A lot of people ask me, well, you have Final Cut Pro, why do you even involve iMovie in the process? And well, since it's just a 10-minute limit, I'm not going to be able to take you through step by step of a whole project, but I am going to run you through one that I've put together to show you the steps that I take in getting my movies ready using iMovie, Final Cut, soundtrack, compressor, and the like. So the first thing I did was I filmed me a desktop screen record. I screen recorded myself multitasking here. Here's the movie. You can see it's just me multitasking, okay? And this is the final product. As you can see, if I say get info, it's 103.3 megs. Total bit rate's about 3200, 1280 by 720. Bit rate's a little high. Don't need it to be that high for YouTube, but that gives YouTube a lot to work with. And it's a 5-minute video, and it's 100 meg, okay? So this is what we've ended up with, our 1280 by 720 ready for YouTube. So the first thing I did after recording my movie is I bring it straight into iMovie, okay? I went ahead and laid down some rough edits. I edited my movie roughly, okay? I didn't add any titles, no transitions. I just roughly inserted some edits and removed some video and parts of the video that I knew for sure I wasn't going to use and stuff like that. A very rough edit. And after I laid down my rough edit, I went to share, export Final Cut XML, okay? And when I did this, I got this little XML file here on my desktop, okay? So then what I did was, of course, I opened up Final Cut Pro here, laid down my audio. Of course, this audio is from Soundtrack, so what I've done was I opened up Soundtrack, or you can just send your project to Soundtrack. I located the music that I wanted, like this. You can locate it in your Finder by right-clicking and say Reveal in Finder, and you can drag it straight into Final Cut, or you can make it into a project and import the project. Either way you go, it don't matter. I found the music I wanted. I brung it back into Final Cut Pro, and as you can see, I laid down my music here. Here's the video. Okay, everything's good. I've polished up my edits from the rough cut that I sent from iMovie. I went ahead and trimmed it up and finalized it and you know, tightened up the edits. Then what I did was I went to File, Export, QuickTime Movie, and I unchecked Make Self-Contained Movie. I don't want that checked because I'm using compressor. And I just said Save. Didn't take but a minute. Saved it out, and I got this little QuickTime Movie here. As you can see, I can get info. I named it iMovie Sequence FCP, and it's 48 megs, and there it is. Okay. So now, after I've rough edited in iMovie, saved it as an XML, sent it to Final Cut Pro, or just opened it in Final Cut Pro, however you want, tightened up my edits and finalized my edits, opened up Soundtrack, found the music I wanted, brung my music in, then I exported it as a QuickTime Movie, not self-contained. And this brings us to this step right here, where here's the movie we just exported. Then I opened up Compressor, brung in that movie, that non-self-contained movie that I exported, give it my YouTube HD preset that I've already got preset. If you watch my other videos, you'll learn all about that. And as you can see, one note I missed here, I recorded my desktop using ScreenFlow, which is this movie right here. And when I exported from ScreenFlow, I exported using Apple ProRes 422. Okay? So the direct file from ScreenFlow, which is right here, before I even sent it to iMovie, as you can see, is 10 gigs because it's ProRes 422. It's got over almost 150,000 total bit rates. So the information inside this movie is huge. Okay, it's a 10 gig file, but it's ProRes 422. So I exported from ScreenFlow using ProRes 422. Sent my ProRes 422 to iMovie, did my rough cut, exported my 422 movie as an XML, ended up with my XML file, opened Final Cut Pro, imported my XML file to Final Cut Pro, Opened Soundtrack, laid down my music, finalized my edits, exported it as a QuickTime movie, non-self-contained. We end up with our little saved file that I just showed you. I then opened up Compressor, laid my YouTube HD preset down, exported it, and from a 10 gig 422 ProRes file, I ended up with a 100 meg file, 1280 by 720, and here it is. As you can see, the quality is wonderful. It's 1280 by 720. I also used the color correction inside of iMovie because I love the color correction inside of iMovie for screen capture. It just blackens up the darkness in the text. It black boldens up the text a whole lot. So if you do a lot of screen captures, do the auto adjust inside iMovie. I really like the auto adjust setting for iMovie screen captures. And that was it. So I went from a 10 gig 422 ProRes file from ScreenFlow into iMovie, saved it as an XML, went to Final Cut Pro, laid down my music, exported it, went into Compressor, laid down my YouTube preset, and in the end it comes out as a 100 meg file from a 10 gig file, and that's pretty darn impressive, and my movie is ready for upload to YouTube. Sounds like a lot, guys, but it's not. Take a couple walkthroughs of this video and watch how I do things, and you'll see my workflow, and you'll notice that I've done several workflows and this one seems to be the best so far. So thanks for watching, guys.